Hi everyone, Sandra Vale here at Homesteading Ways, and today I'm outside and I'm going to show you how to harvest and use stinging nettles as a tea. Right there is a great specimen of stinging nettles. They can grow as high as 7 feet, but most of the time I find that they're between 3 and 5 feet. And I tend to find them in somewhat shady areas or partly sunny areas that tend to be on the moist side. You probably will never find them growing out in a sunny spot in the middle of a field. That's just not what they seem to like. You want to be careful when you're harvesting stinging nettles because it really will sting you. They have little edges on here with tiny little hairs, but the stem is the worst of it. See how I'm wearing this glove here? And the sting can hurt for, geez, up to a few hours afterwards. There are some natural remedies like jewelweed you can rub on there that will help get rid of it, but it's just best to avoid it to begin with. And a lot of people like stinging nettles because it's really rich in iron, and it's highly digestible iron. So if you have any kind of anemia going on, drinking the tea would really help you out a lot. It's also high in vitamin A and C as well as D. It also has a good amount of potassium in it and other minerals, but it's also really high in protein, more so than beans. And for, geez, thousands of years, the stem, especially towards the end of summer, has been used for cordage, for fishing nets and rope. But clothing has also been made out of the fibers. So it's really a great versatile plant. So if you're going to harvest, this is mid-June here, and I'm on my own land, and I have this stuff growing everywhere. So I'm going to harvest a good amount of it. But for now, I'll just show you. Take your knife, a sharp knife, or scissors, whichever you prefer, and just cut it clean. And put it in a paper bag. This is just a old sugar bag I have, recycling here. You can use the nettles dried or fresh, and we'll talk about that in just a second here. Okay, and then once you've collected all your nettles, you're going to want to rinse them under running water to get off any kind of dust or maybe little critters that might still be on there. And you just rinse them and you pull the leaves off because you're not going to want a stem. It can be a little bit bitter and tough, of course, but you can eat it. Now if you wanted to eat the nettles as a food, which you can do, it's very nutritious, you want to use the younger plants before they flower. There's debate whether or not using nettles after they've flowered could be detrimental to your kidneys. Some say yay, some say nay. So you might just want to err on the side of caution and just use them before they flower. And you'll usually find plants at different stages. Some may be flowering and some may be just, starting to grow. So it really shouldn't be much of a problem. Once you have all of these rinsed, you're just going to let them sit a little bit to drain off before you put them into your water. Now, I forgot to mention that nettle is also really good if you're retaining water. So if you're the type who does retain a lot of water, make yourself a cup of tea once or twice a day, and that should help you out. Okay, now the next thing you're going to want to do is add your leaves to the boiling water. Roughly 1 cup of leaves per 2 cups of water. But you don't really have to measure it. You can just eyeball it. And you're going to let this simmer. So you don't want it at a really high rolling boil. Just let it simmer for 5 to 10 minutes, even less if you prefer a weaker tea, or you can use less leaves as well, or more. It just depends, you know, on your taste. Some people prefer dried nettles over fresh, and it's really just a matter of taste. And if you want to dry your nettles for future use, just grab a whole bunch of stems and hang them upside down and let them air dry. They'll dry fine like that. Or you can put the leaves, strip the stems of the leaves and put them in a paper bag and let them go for a week. That'll dry them as well. Or you could put them in your dehydrator on your lowest setting. You don't want to dry a lot of herbs on a high setting, because the heat, the higher the heat is, the more they tend to dry them out and you lose some really good oils in the herbs. You can also freeze nettles. You can blanch them, or the way I prefer is to steam them till they're cooked and then rinse them, let them dry, and then put them in the freezer that way. And you can also can nettles for eating, and you would can them the same way you can spinach. But anyhow, once your tea is ready, you're just gonna strain it. You can add a little honey to it if you like. Plenty of people like it just plain the way that it is. And it also makes a really nice iced tea. So let it cool down and then you can refrigerate it. But that is how, you know, you harvest and use stinging nettles. I hope you liked the video. I'm glad you took the time to watch it. It'd be great if you'd comment or subscribe. It was nice talking to you, and you take care.